Alpha Phi Alpha made history in 1906 when it became the first intercollegiate Greek letter fraternity for African Americans. Since then, the fraternity's membership has grown to 200,000 with 706 chapters around the world. Here in Detroit, the Gamma Lambda chapter was honored as the Alpha Phi Alpha National Chapter of the Year. Joining me now is chapter president Kamal Marable. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on the honor.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. So what does a chapter have to do to receive this honor?
Well, it's all about the service for us, and we've always stated that the most important thing is to provide the service for the community. Our mission statement of the fraternity states that Alpha Phi Alpha develops leaders while promoting advocacy and service for communities. So to actually get to winning the award, there's a whole lot of technical things that go in there, but first and foremost, we put servicing the community first.
Yeah. I think when people think of fraternities, that's not necessarily what they think of.
Absolutely. So that's the difference, and I would say all Black Greek organizations.
Yes.
So for one, we carry on beyond our college days.
Right. Yes.
To service the community. We actually have alumni chapters whose focus is not the frat house things you see on TV. Stepping is a big part of what we do, but a small part, servicing the community is what we're about.
Yeah. So talk about some of the service efforts that have mattered here in the city of Detroit that obviously helped you get this honor.
Yeah, so one of the biggest projects that we do every year is that we raise funds for March of Dimes. And matter of fact, we are the #1 fundraiser for March of Dimes across the state. We actually raised $12,000 last year for March of Dimes. So it's one of the most important things that we do. It's near and dear to our hearts, taking care of those babies and supporting the work of the March of Dimes. Another project that we do that is very, very impactful, and one of the points of pride that we have is that we take care of our young men. We have an Alpha Esquire program that has a 98.7% success rate of those young men who enter our program actually going to college.
Right.
We have 64 young men, alumni in college right now, who owe part of them being in college to our program.
Yeah. Some of the things that I think people don't quite get about fraternities and Black fraternities in particular is the sort of sense of home and belonging that comes out of that, especially if you're on a majority white campus. Talk about how that may look a little different today than it even did when you and I might have been in college.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to take it back to the founding, and those seven young men
sure.
who we call our Jews came together for mutual benefit and brotherhood on and I know a lot of the Black Greek organizations were founded at HBCUs,
Sure.
The majority of them, but we were founded at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, in a time in 1906 where Black people weren't getting together and doing those type of things. So they came together and put brotherhood first. And that's we tell folks who are interested in our fraternity that you can do service anywhere.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a part of a brotherhood, you come to the fraternity.
Yeah. And that brotherhood lasts, I know this because I know a number of people who were Alphas, including my uncle, William Beckham Jr. That lasts a lifetime. I mean, the people who were his fraternity brothers, he had not only a close relationship, but a really different relationship than he had with other people.
Absolutely. I mean, when we say brothers, we mean brothers. And I like to say that Alphas surround you from the beginning of your walk with Alpha, and then even your uncle probably had what we call an Omega service where brothers pretty much gather to honor you at your last moment as the casket closes. So it is a lifetime brotherhood, a lifetime commitment that we have to one another.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges that Black fraternities face today that they maybe didn't face before?
Well, I think a couple of things. You know, one is that when the fraternities and sororities started, there weren't the options that exist now. I mean, you know, the civil rights and coming of age, you know, everything is open now. So there are options, whereas before...
In other words, African-American kids can join any fraternity.
Exactly. Any fraternity, any type of organization.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a challenge around the numbers. Now, I would say to you that I think that what you get from our organizations is unique and beneficial moreover than anything, but that's one of the biggest issues. And I would say the other one, which all of our organizations are tackling, is just killing this plague of hazing.
Yeah.
That has impacted our organization as well as others over the years.
Yeah. Talk a little more about that. Every once in a while, we see that crop up in the news, and it's usually an extraordinary incident that gets it to that level. But there's this ongoing discussion about the role that hazing should play and maybe the role that it shouldn't play, right?
We are zero tolerance hazing organization. We don't believe that it should play a role at all, and just getting that throughout all of our membership is a challenge, but it's one that we are consistently dealing with by putting together the kind of membership programs that we have that state strictly that we are a no hazing organization, and moreover, that if you participate in that, you will get kicked out of the fraternity forever.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's going to be kind of difficult given the tradition of, the line and things like that, and the sort of trial of trying to get into the fraternity. There's sort of a fine line there between that and hazing, right?
Yeah, but I would submit once again that we have a process that we call IMDP, Initial Membership Development Process, where we believe that we have savored the best of the process of coming into fraternity while eliminating the hazing.
Yeah.
So, there is a fine line, and some of these things came into being with good reason, and I think they just got bastardized over the years into the brutality which we will not tolerate.
Yeah. What about challenges on college campuses? I mean, we see a lot in the news right now about the renewed attention to racial climates on majority white campuses, the struggles that we see at HBCUs just keeping the institutions afloat. I would imagine that all those things affect Greek life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're proud of our young men and our young women for standing up to challenge. You will see, I know for our fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha is always at the vanguard in dealing with these issues impacting on their individual campuses, and even wider than that, their communities. It is, the struggle around HBCUs is one that's ongoing, but it is one that we also support, locally through our chapter with UNCF and what they do. So I think, for us, I know our fraternity is taking that head on.
Yeah, I mean, are these also the kinds of challenges that threaten the future of Black Greek life? These things we see on white campuses, these diminishment of Black campuses. I mean, are these things that you worry about?
We've been around for 111 years.
You're not going anywhere, right?
And I think that we're going to be around for at least 100 more. So I think we will be there. We've been able to face the challenges since our founding, and I think we'll continue to face those challenges.
Yeah. What about what are you guys seeing with college kids these days who want to be in Alpha Phi Alpha? They are different. I mean, I can say that as someone who is involved in some organizations that still are on campuses. There's a different kind of, there's a different level of interest, and there's a different purpose in their minds to the college experience that I would imagine also changes Greek life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things how we deal with that is that we don't move the target. Academic excellence is at the core of what we demand in Alpha. So if you want to be a part of us, this is what you have to do. You have to maintain a certain GPA to become a member and to maintain activity with the organization. So I think that's one of the ways that we combat that. And also as alumni members, getting engaged with our college chapters and helping and guiding them along.
Yeah. What about in terms of the kids on campus now, the service aspect of it? How open are they to the idea that they have to do that?
Very much so. I know that our local chapter of interest is Wayne State, Alpha Upsilon, so shout out to those young brothers. They engage with several community service organizations and partner and come along with us. So they definitely have a standard. And, in order to be an active chapter, you have to do service. I mean, you can't be an active chapter if you don't do service. So they engage in programming on the chapter, and they also come and engage with service programming with us.
Yeah, and that's the important thing, I would imagine, is you get them while they're in school, while they're part of the chapter, to start thinking about, well, how do you give back? And then it lasts into adulthood.
It's a lifelong commitment, and we're a vehicle for that. So they don't have to ask, they don't have to question. You come onto your alumni chapter after graduating, and you continue the service, you continue the brotherhood that you began at your college chapter.
Yeah, well, again, congratulations on the honor. I know that a lot of hard work must have gone into that.
Absolutely. We're blessed as a chapter. I mean, not only are we the reigning, I guess until later this summer, when a new chapter year will be chosen, we also have the honor of hosting our immediate past general president, Mark S. Tillman, which is a huge deal. Our international president is a member of our chapter. So to hold both of those honors at once, it's been a great time to be in Alpha in Detroit.
All right. Congratulations again, and thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.